Hello and welcome to Dead Man's Yarn. This is Sci-Fi and I'm joined by my motley crew. Uh, Hopefully we're all going to sound alright. We've done some mic tests, but if you guys watching can let us know if anything is amiss, I'm going to try and keep on top of my mic as well. So we have Tiny playing Kai joining us, we have Kerry playing Artemia, Kimmy playing Cordelia, and Paul playing Trill. Um, Last we left off, you were still going through the governor's mansion, I believe. If we, yeah, if we just move on to where is the governor's mansion? There it is.
I think we just finished interrogating the governor and Pickles.
Uh, I thought you gathered the information up, but you hadn't actually been to them yet.
No, we've talked to them, and I think the last thing we discussed was Damien, where Damien came from.
Huh. Have I forgot? It's because I haven't edited the last part of the last session yet, so I've completely forgotten where we were. But I will trust you. So yeah, you were talking about Novi, weren't you? The Isle of Novi,
Yeah, that's right.
which Nathaniel referred to as Isle de Morte. I believe.
Correct. Yeah, we've got that Novi, also known as Al de Morte from Nathaniel.
Yeah. But yeah, you've pretty much gathered all the information you need to stitch up the governor. If you are with whatchamacallit, the governor and Pickles, I'll move us onto the right map. You are. Oh god, where are you? There, that one. There we go. Oh yeah, because Nathaniel was filling his boots in the locker room.
He's been a nuisance as
Is that
always.
what he's doing?
Yes, he is literally in. You know where you got all your equipment at the beginning from. He's literally in there going through it. I think was it Kai asked him a question,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think you sort of like stopped him. He like turned around sharply as you approached him.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Stopped him in his tracks.
But yeah, I think you've pretty much got it dead to right. You've solved the mystery for the most part. It's what you want to do now, really.
We were gonna go with Nathaniel off the island, right? So once we're ready, you think we'll just talk to him and we'll head back up north?
Yeah, I think he's pretty keen to get off the island. Well, I think now that he's actually pilfered his way through the mansion, I think he's very eager to get off the island.
I would be interested in making a pit stop at those ruins that Pickles said he took the bodies to.
Ah, yeah.
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah. Um. So, Alburn is pretty much set things in motion to get the governor ousted. He'll probably mention this in the passing, but essentially it's going to take weeks, if not months, because they'll have to get people from the embassy on Cape Sovereign to come down. They'll probably have to get representatives from the Empire to come across, just so everything's done formally. The governor himself will be under house arrest, which brings into that thing that I mentioned the other night, Verberg or
Vertrag?
Vergrag, yeah, blah blah blah, that one. Essentially, it underlines how people are treated. So nobles get a bit more better treatment than commoners. So Pickles is going to stay in the cell, but the governor gets to stay in his mansion until he's ousted.
Before we head anywhere, I'm going to pull the contract back out from my pocket and hand it over to Alban. And say, you're going to need all the evidence you've got, and hand it back over.
I thought you'd already done that. Sorry. Yes, you're quite right. It may take some time, like I said, and I don't want to keep you here. In fact, I encourage you to leave.
Well, I think the only remaining settlement is a reward for such upstanding work, helping you oust your governor, a little coup. I think we've done quite well, wouldn't you say?
He isn't ousted yet. If you can wait until the trial is over, then I'm sure there will be compensation from the Empire.
That will take some time, though, right?
Indeed.
How much time would you be expecting this to take?
Given the circumstance, it could take 3 weeks.
We could maybe pop back here if we have a chance.
Well, you have access to a ship of your own, so I can't see why not. Could always be.
I was also.
Technically.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch you.
You first.
Sorry. I was just gonna say that technically it's Nathaniel's ship, right, Captain?
He's sort of like just pilfering through the room and sticks his head out like, "Aye, lass, but I could always make a U-turn back here at some point in the near future." If there's a reward, I'm sure there'll be a reward for yours truly as well.
I think it's sorted then.
Sure, wherever there's coin flowing, you'll find Nathaniel following close behind. Don't worry about that.
And rum, don't forget the rum, lad.
What Port Anders?
I feel that, as I thought, the governor was involved with it. So, we will get as much information out of him as possible, and then, with that, resolve the issue, I hope.
When we come back, if you're able to find someone who can read deep speech, it would be really interesting to see what that contract says.
Unfortunately, there's nobody on the island that does. Maybe on your travels you'll come across somebody who reads deep speech.
We'll keep an eye out.
Allburn goes to correct you and then goes, can't be bothered.
So I guess our first, if everything is sort of sorted here, we could go to the ruins, see if there's any evidence there. Bring it back if that's necessary, and then we can be on our way.
Sounds good to me.
What time is it right now exactly?
Oh god, I've lost track. It'll be... Well, it was morning, or was it midday? It was morning when you started everything. You've only been in the mansion for an hour or so I'd say it's about afternoon.
So not enough time for a rest. Okie doke.
You could probably have like a 10-minute rest. I would say you've had a short rest in amongst all this.
Say no more, sir. Say no more. Short rest is all I need.
Yeah, so everybody, if you wanted to have a short rest. On that note, guys, can you all roll me a history check? Because there's something that I keep forgetting to make you do.
god, it's such a horrible pink.
Oh, some high rolls.
And it's your boy coming in with a 6.
So this is in relation to, because the fact keeps coming up, vampires.
Hell yeah.
Trill and Artemia, you have no idea what a vampire is.
They don't exist near us avian people.
Well,
Just a myth.
if you give me a second, Tiny, you are aware of what a vampire is, but to your knowledge, they are myths. And
Yeah, that sounds right.
Cordelia, you are aware that vampires have existed at some point, but they were eradicated a long time ago. So long that they have become myths.
Ooh la la.
Interesting.
So literally, I'm just making the point that you have met Damien, or Vlanders as he's been come to be known, but you do not have any idea what he is. Like, you're not making the connection in your head that he is a vampire.
He's just a weirdo so far, I guess.
Pretty much. He's an eccentric guy who likes using umbrellas on bright sunny days.
Could we assume maybe that he would be some kind of undead because of that? It just seems like such an undead thing to do.
I'm gonna say no, because none of you have like detect undead. None of you went out your way to like do like any checks to make sure that he was living or dead. Like, none of you like walked up to him, grabbed his hand, and like, yep, no pulse here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just gonna literally. He's just an odd fellow to you currently. And as chat points out, who doesn't like a good umbrella?
I know.
It's like so stylish.
Is it Lacey?
It could
Yeah,
have.
I wanted to ask if it has a pattern on it. Like, is it flowery?
It was it was pitch black, but I'm gonna say it had like some like embroidery on it, so it's like a bit fancy. And I also, if nobody has noticed, I made a massive mistake with Vlanders. He literally.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. He has his knife in the wrong hand.
What does that mean?
Flanders on Simpsons is left-handed.
Oh no!
He's got the left-handed shop. How didn't we realize?
Yeah, so yeah, it's all right. I can't plagiarize everything from The Simpsons. So guys, you've had your short rest. You've had like a little chat with Allburn. You've pretty much made your intentions clear to leave the island with Nathaniel. Are we heading out?
You want to check the runes? Yeah.
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 So the other session, I did a cutaway moment where I cut to what Damien was doing down at the pier. Did people appreciate that?
It was mysterious.
Okay, cool. Because I'm thinking of doing more cutaway segments. So
You gotta be careful with those though, because obviously, like, you want to keep something secret.
oh, I'm not going to throw anything massively away, but it's going to be I want to do a cutaway bit in a second, and I also want to do a cutaway bit to tell you what Damien's been up to, which we'll get to in a bit. But for now, back to the map of the island.
Our route is still there.
Yep. If people haven't seen, so essentially you got your route through the islands, forests to Port Anders at the top. There's the little campsite that you guys stopped at, so that's still there. But of course, there's these weird little ruins. So what would you guys like to do?
Are we heading straight there, or are we we know where it is, so we're just there already?
Well, essentially what you've done so far is you followed the river up, and you got to like the fallen down crossing across the river, which you know what, I'm going to mark right now. So there's a. It looks like it was a stone bridge at some point across the river there. This is where everybody's favourite parrot was. Well, bird of paradise.
Let's go.
It was not his favorite bird, though.
He's not the best bird. Are you getting to that point and crossing the river?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you all roll me a nature check as you attempt to get across the river?
That was a yucky yellow. Whose is that?
Kimmy.
How do you change the color?
You click on the color box on Roll20 and you can change it. I like yellow.
Tyne likes yellow as well.
It's colour.
So Kai and Artemia get across easily, like there's no trouble. Trill and Cordelia, can you roll me another nature check, please?
Can't roll anything.
Can't Cordelia just swim? Like, she is literally a swimming person.
There's a current. So, alright. You're both fine. Essentially, if you rolled really badly again, then you might have been washed downstream. But you both struggle, but you get across the river.
I am entertained by the fact that every single nature roll I've ever made has been so bad, and I'm a druid.
Nature, who wants that? So you make it to the other side of the ruins, and the other side of the river, and before you there are a number of ruins that lead into like a trail. Sort of like a trail up to rivers. It's sort of like easier going, so it looks like at some point or other this land is being cultivated rather than left to run wild. The ruins themselves they've been here a while. They're all sorts of different shapes. They collapsed. The forest has started to reclaim them. You know what? I'm going to move you onto one of the battle maps just so we have a bit more of context. That one, because it's got ruins on. And you guys are still there. Let's get rid of you, and let's get rid of... No. Stop drawing dots. Okay, so you come to the ruins. Okay, I'm guessing you wanted to have a look around.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
be interested in looking. Oh, sorry. I'd be interested in looking to see like if there's any signs of what he did with the bodies, or like where he brought them to, like pickles, and also just seeing what else is around the ruins.
Okay, I will just get the captain with you.
Oh, he came with.
Well, you're going to his ship, aren't you? Oh, not Captain Olburn, Nathaniel.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna, like, because if we found evidence, we'd have to bring that back to the village.
The thing is, they already know that Pickles has already admitted that he's done it, so I don't think you taking any evidence back will do anything extra, really.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you some options, and let me know what you want to do. So you can investigate the ruins. You can investigate the area for bodies. Or you could just... Actually, I think they're the only two options, really. Investigate the area for bodies or investigate the ruins. Oh, I suppose you could have a check to see if there's any like wildlife nearby.
Is there any buzzing around of a certain type of Jesus wasp?
No, the Messiah has not come again.
Sad life. I want to search the ruins. I feel like we'll stumble upon the bodies regardless, maybe.
Did you just assume my DM? um, so, Tyne, what would you like to do?
Can I check around for those wolves that we saw eating breakfast before?
Tyne, I'm going to say this in no uncertain words. How dare you ruin my fun?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Roll me a nature. Okay, I was going to let you roll an advantage because you've literally hammered it on the head. But anyway, Cordelia, what would you like to do?
I want to look for bodies.
Okay, if you roll me a investigation, please. Okay. So, Kai, I will come back to you in a second, but I wanted to save that to the end. Cordelia, you find a couple of scraps of clothing, but nothing else. Just like littered around the area. It looks like they've been pulled off in a certain direction, though.
Can I tell what direction they were pulled off in?
I am going to say... Can I... Freehand. So essentially, we'll say you stood where you are currently and you're just having like, a look around. It looks like they're being pulled off this direction.
Okay.
Artemia, what would you like to do?
I'm confused about what Kai asked to do.
She's looking for... Remember, you saw those wolves pulling the shark out of the water?
That was in Port Anders, no?
It was in Port Anders, but she's asked to see if there's any signs of them around here. I would like to point out that you have no idea what Kai's up to, so I'm asking what your character would like to do.
I want to search the ruins.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to do a perception check for me, please. Or am I getting them completely mixed up? Perception.
Big perception.
Oh, okay. So, these are stones. Everybody loves stones.
I start pecking at the stones.
We're on a roll here.
Trill, what
I'm
would you...
having a great
Oh, sorry. Trill, what would you like to do?
I'm going to have a look around the ruins as well. I'm going to try and see if there's like an actual complete building that isn't in tatters. See
Okay.
if there's anything hidden away.
Okay, so you're looking for anything intact. Yeah, if you roll me a perception as well, please. I'm probably getting these completely mixed up.
Perception, you know it's going to be great. I don't know if I still have eyes.
Well, you walk up to a single stone on the floor and goes, yeah, this is complete. There's no damage to this one at all. Kai,
Me.
you start like searching the ground, looking for tracks, and although nothing immediately jumps out at you, you notice a blood trail, and it's fresh blood. Following the blood up and like with your line of sight, you see the corpse of one of those rhino creatures you first spotted when you washed up on the island. And it has been mostly devoured, but it is a fresh kill.
How fresh? Like very, very fresh?
Very, very fresh.
Oh, everyone know. I will let everyone know. Like, guys.
As you do that, can you do me a perception check, please? Okay. You can feel the heavy breath of something on your neck.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Where is it?
So literally, I'm saying you're stood where you are. I just literally need to find a token for it. No, that's the wrong one. Free assets. Where creatures?
So would we have been spread out on the map by now if we were looking around, or are we all still clubbed together?
I'm going to say because you're all clumped together currently. You're pretty much where you are because you've only just arrived. Need to stop
Okay, cool.
doing that. No, I need to make you bigger. There we go. 10. No, he just looks distorted, horrible like that. So he'll have to be 10 foot long rather than as long as he actually is. On top of the stone wall, overlooking pretty much Onkai and looking down at all of you, is one of these wolves from earlier with blood dripping down its fangs.
Nice, Doggy.
I don't have my owl soundtrack, but I make a screeching owl noise out of terror.
As you all react to it, it lunges over the top of you and into the clearing, and sort of like circles around to look at you all.
You have food. We are not food. Bye bye.
It is currently pacing a little bit backwards and forwards between like the couple of feet and staring at all of you. I feel like it's not big enough, really, so I'm gonna try and make it a little bit bigger.
Oh no, it's terrifying as it is, sir.
It actually looks really chunky now, so it's cuter.
I was about to say it's a chunky wolf.
But as far as you can tell, there's only the one there currently.
Cordelia, could you possibly make nice?
Hang on, let me check my spells. I do actually have speak with animals, but I only have a couple spell slots left, and I worry that if we fight this thing, that wasting one on speak with animals might not work very well.
So do you have speak with animals, or?
I do. I'm just asking if do you guys actually want me to talk with this thing?
I feel like it might make us avoid a fight, but if you don't want to waste your spell slot, we can just try backing off.
Backing off could be a good idea. We could just sort of slip away, see if it follows us.
Yeah, I'm gonna start backing away slowly, put my hands like forward, like, hey, it's okay. It's alright, we're going. It's fine.
Where is the bison thing body? Because if we back away not towards that thing, then maybe it won't think that we're like encroaching on its food.
I'll mark it. It's about there. Also, rhino.
Sorry, rhino.
It's alright. You're only speaking to the dead. Dead rhino thing. As you start backing away, the captain just sort of, and Nathaniel is just sat there with his hands in his pockets, just sort of looking at the wolf, going, just sort of like looking at it, going, "Oh, you didn't see that every day."
Aren't you worried?
Ah, lass, I think if it wanted us dead, we'd be dead already. They're ambush predators. I don't think them announcing themselves would be ambushing, if you get what I mean.
It could be the one who's distracting us in the ambush is actually behind us.
Nathaniel turns away, turning his back to this giant wolf, staring him down, and goes, "I didn't see any." But you're probably right. If there's one, there is most definitely more of them.
So what do we do?
You know, I heard off one of my friends that they're not that aggressive as long as you don't be aggressive to them. So let's not make any threatening movements, if you know what I mean.
Should I sit down?
Maybe not that much.
Okay, I'll just stay as I am.
What was I going to say? The captain starts like walking off, just not really giving a monkeys about it. The wolf itself stops pacing and just sort of lowers its head, staring at him. And he starts walking towards where you saw the tatters of bone and everything. Tatters of clothes, should I say.
I will follow his example, and I won't just turn around. I'll keep looking at the wolf, but I'll try and follow Nathaniel.
Could you all roll me a perception check?
I don't know, can I?
Me, I can't, apparently. Cordelia, was that 25 just yours now?
Yup.
Okay.
Wow.
So Cordelia, you notice that there are more of them in like the thickets of like off to the side. You count about 7 of them.
Oh Jesus!
I'll like point them out to the others, I guess.
I can just imagine it as like a Scooby-Doo moment, like. Would you do it for a Scooby snack? No, I will not fight a giant wolf for a Scooby snack. So as you... Are you following the captain, are you?
Sorry, me?
Yes.
Oh, well, all of you, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so you slowly back away from the wolf, and as you do, the wolf doesn't follow you. It's like circles around back to where the kill was. And then like stands over it. If you could move your counters up to where you want to be with the captain, please. Got to be at least 2 snacks. I think they need the entire box. Well, technically there's 8 wolves here, so they need 8 Scooby snacks. As you follow the captain up, he's sort of like kicking the dirt, and then you see like a few bones and something silver on the ground, and he goes, I think we found the bodies here. He is not paying any attention to the wolf at all.
I'll bend down and I'm going to slightly grab a bone, but also look at what that shiny thing is.
So the shiny thing is a silver pocket watch.
Ooh. Can I add that to my treasures?
Fancy.
I'm just trying to see if I've got the image for the wolf. Because somebody did draw one for it, but it wasn't what I wanted. So, but feel free to continue on with your shenanigans.
Is there anything else we see, or is that just the most prevalent one?
That is the most prevalent one. There's a scatters of bone. You quickly identify them as human remains. The tatters of clothes that were on the ground are essentially... They are the same sort of purple that the soldiers and Allburn were wearing, so you can see that they were something to do with the Empire. Unfortunately, I do not have a picture of that wolf.
Can I look around like on the walls and stuff to see if there's any like drawings or anything that says anything about who used to live here or who built this?
If you could do me a investigation check, please.
because I'm so good at those. Okay.
Wow.
Just so I can move this along a little bit. So literally, you walk up to a wall and turn around and go, "Yeah, these are ruins." These, and behind you, there is a massive carved mural. Like it's literally
I'm so good at this.
there's literally an altar with all these like pictures and inscriptions on, and you're stood in front of it gesturing, going, "There's nothing here, guys. What are we doing here? There's a giant wolf out there. Have you seen the bloody wolf?"
Wasn't much better, to be honest.
Aha. Thank you, Tan. You sent me the picture of the wolf, but it's the one that's got his signature on it. I'll have to find the one that hasn't got the signature on. So yeah,
Do
I'm
I
just-
see the?
yeah. I'm just gonna say because literally you've all like looked in the general direction of it, and Cordelia has sort of like gestured up and shown you it all, so you can all see it now. But Cordelia is sort of like what you're looking at. It's sort of like an altar of sorts, but it's been worn away by time. But on the altar there is a semicircle of carvings and then a image at the center. The semicircle are various creatures, majority of which you do not recognize, but there are creatures that look very similar to mind flayers. There are creatures that look very similar to werewolves. Of course, majority you won't know majority of these creatures. There are other ones that you just don't recognize. Terrible creatures that look like moving mountains, essentially. And then in the center, the image in the center is essentially, for lack of better words, a cauldron, and more creatures spewing forth out of it.
What? I'm just so confused. That's what the noise I made. Are all so all the creatures kind of emanating from the cauldron?
Well, there's about 9 of them in a semicircle around it or above it, and then there are other creatures in this cauldron coming out of it that are not similar to the other ones. So to sum it up, it looks like things are being created in this cauldron and coming out of it.
I hope that cauldron doesn't exist. Is what I think. Stop! It's okay if I'm laughing. It's not okay if you're laughing.
Anybody else got any input?
Does this sound like any? Is this like a folklore tale or a religious like creation myth or something like that? Do we have any? Would I have any knowledge of that kind of where this information would have been found?
I'm going to say because this is of an ancient civilization on the other side of the world that, from you guys, from where you've been born and brought up, you do not know anything about it.
What about Nathaniel?
I
Can
am
we...
making.
Sorry, I'm going to say Cordelia. Have you got any input?
Oh no, I was just saying that I'm making notes about this.
If I can pull myself to it, I'll try and do like a rough sketch of it. Kai, any input from yourself?
I'm just keeping an eye on the wolves.
And Artemia, did you want to ask Nathaniel about it?
Yeah, see if he recognizes it, a folktale from it or not.
He walks up and he like places his hand on his chin, stroking his beard, staring at it, and he like, I haven't a bloody clue, lass. It just looks like some fancy bloody carvings from the locals.
Oh well.
Where did the
Sorry, you cut out there.
sorry? Where did the locals go? We've only seen people from the towns here.
Aye, they don't really hang around the Empire towns with them being a load of Empire folk, if you know what I mean. I'm sure we'll run into some on the next island or further afield. They tend to keep to the west. So you never know. We could always go find one, and they might be able to tell us what this. He gestures towards the wall. This is.
Do they just live within the jungle?
They've got their own little settlements. You know, if we get to the next island, we might be able to find a few because, well, it'll be easier to show you rather than tell you, lass. I'm not very good at explaining it.
I don't think we'll learn anything much more by staring at these rocks. Why don't we push forward and maybe find some information from the people who lived here?
Grand idea, lad. And he starts walking out northwards towards back towards the bridge, and he sort of like steps out, steps back a little bit in amazement that there's a wolf there, tips his hat to the wolf, and carries on walking.
He's
Awesome.
he's amazing in some ways.
Sorry, Kai, what was that?
Follow suit.
Sorry, I still didn't catch you.
I follow suit.
All right, thank you. The rest of you following?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
you pretty much the wolf is staring at you still. It's not like snarling or growling at you or anything. It's got its head low and just watching you as you walk past. You notice one or two of the other wolves in the thicket. They start to circle around away from you, back towards the ruins. And they're that large that it's not hard to spot them move out the way for you. And your path is clear back towards the bridge.
I'd just like to say that Artemia has her head, like, as she passes by, like, the main wolf that they saw. She doesn't, like, her head twists around to keep looking at it before, like, you know, a few like 10, 20 meters until she decides to turn it back forward.
So yeah, you pretty much get away from these things without too much of a problem. Artemia keeps an eye on them to make sure none of them follow you, but they seem to be going back to carry on eating their kill. Right, so just because you have new fancy weapons and because the guys demand blood, don't you, chat? You demand blood. Demand it now.
But I can't use my weapon.
I was really wanting you to fire it and like go, I'll shoot my gun. Really, with what? And everybody's ruining my fun tonight.
Oh, how many bullets?
You get to the bridge again. Can you all do me a nature check, please? Yep.
I mean, do I have to do nature if I could just fly over it?
To be perfectly honest, no. Yours is a lot lower than everybody else's. Trill, could you roll me another nature check, please?
Oh, why can't I do things?
You can fail. There you are, right, yeah. So you struggle a little bit, but you get across the river, so you're all right. And you carry on back onto the trail leading through the jungle. Let's have a look. Let's give you a fun thing to fight because you haven't fought anything in a while. And we haven't even used the battle music yet. A party of 4 heroes, average level of 2, is travelling through a forest. No, you've already killed one of them. No. Why does it only ever give me like one creature?
Because we're just squishy, low-level little people that can only fight one creature.
Yeah, but it could give you like a load of crap creatures as well.
No, it's true.
Apparently it thinks you're ready to fight an owlbear. That'll do. As you move through the forests, you come across... You seem to get a little bit lost on the trail, even though you've already travelled across it. Oh, is that not the right map? That is not the right map. That one. the island itself, like the forest, becomes more and more thick with spiderweb.
Oh no.
Could you place your characters around about here, please? Thank you.
Cordelia is okay with spiders, but me, Kimmy, I hate them.
I'm sure there was a. It's alright. That there are spiders, and then there's these horrible, horrible things called. Is it etacaps or something? Those things can burn in hell. Ah, there we go. Spider.
Damn, look at all those bones.
Which are novelly oversized again. Everything is novelly oversized. Tyne, do you need me to move your character on?
Yes, please.